Nice.
Kratos, the Spartan warrior, was the youngest and most relentless captain of the Spartan army, one of the most feared in the world. No force or foe could match their strength until the night they went to war with the barbarians. Outstrengthed and outnumbered, they fought till the end. With Kratos lying helpless, almost at his deathbed, he called out to the god of war Ares, offering his life for the death of his enemies.
Ares! Destroy my enemies, and my life is yours.
After vowing his loyalty and selling his soul to the god of war, the god fused the blades of chaos to his flesh by chain, in doing so, making Kratos his servant of war. The blades of chaos made it so Kratos could cut through any enemy in his way at ease, but at a catch. Ares was quick to manipulate and betray Kratos, having him unknowingly slaughter his wife and his own flesh and blood, his own daughter. On that day he was cursed, making his skin pale white with the ashes of his loved ones, a reminder of his past and marking him as the ghost of Sparta. With Kratos still shackled mentally and physically by the blades of chaos, the nightmares of that awful day continued to haunt him. This sent Kratos on a path of rage and destruction, on a mission of vengeance against the one responsible, the one they called a god. On his journey, Kratos gained strength and power, but still not enough to kill a god. After surviving the traps of Pandora's temple, he found Ares with Pandora's box. After taking the box from Ares, Kratos opened Pandora's box, letting out the power of the gods that was left within. At least that's what the Tales of Pandora says, but that's a story for another day. After seeking his revenge and defeating the god of war Ares, he had finally succeeded on his path of revenge. But in doing so did not change anything. Kratos was still filled with hate, rage, and regrets. Living with the consequences of that night, he slayed his own family and became the ghost of Sparta. He knew he would never be able to forgive himself after what he had done, so to end his suffering, he went to the highest mountain in Greece and tried to throw himself off. The gods had different plans for Kratos and interfered. They would not let him go that easily. After that, Kratos realized he only had one path set out in front of him. Kratos took his place on the throne and became the new God of War. Now that we've covered the first entry of God of War and Kratos' journey of how he got to his position of power, now let's talk about the God armor he acquires for doing so. The God armor is its own type of armor, not to be confused with Ares. Sure, it has some inspirations from it, but it stands on its own. The God armor is what Kratos wears in the beginning of God of War 2 after claiming the throne and the title God of War. The armor can be unlocked after beating the game on any difficulty, so you can replay the entire game wearing that armor. Wearing it decreases damage taken, and also deals double damage, and the fire meter also regens faster. It has appeared as an unlockable in God of War Ghost of Sparta on the PSP, which was ported to the PS3 at a later date. God of War Ragnarok had the Ares armor set, which was heavily influenced by the God armor and took less inspiration from Ares armor itself. It was also an alternate skin for the video game Soul Calibur Broken Destiny on the PSP if you chose to play as Kratos. The armor has even appeared in the action figure line by NECA, which we'll be looking at today. Here we are with the NECA God Armor Kratos. This is a knockoff figure purchased from AliExpress. AliExpress has a lot of knockoffs, with the majority of them being made in China.
China!
I've always been worried about ordering from websites like this, but so far everything I've ordered has shown up and in good shape as well, well, the box at least. I picked these two up about 2 months ago, paying $20 a piece, so that's 20 Canadian, with it being around $15 American. They went up in price, and since then, with them now being 27 Canadian and about 20 USD American. The seller's name is MK Toy Store. His review ratio is pretty good. It's hard to find sellers that ship to Canada, for some products on AliExpress, so that's why I ordered from their shop to begin with. They look great, not what I was expecting for a knockoff from China. I was expecting lazy paint applications, but the face, armor, tattoos look great. I was expecting them to have a face like a Ditto from Pokemon. The angry face has a little bit of a paint chip on the forehead where the face tattoo is, but that can be patched up pretty easily, so that doesn't bother me. The head sculpt does show a bit of a ridge, so there is that. You can tell it's a cast mold, so they just took the NECA figures and casted them. But then again, as with the paint, it's not that noticeable unless you're really looking for it, and it probably can be fixed as well. The packaging makes it look like a legit NECA figure with the same high quality paper you see in other NECA figures, has that same gloss finish, which is really nice. I keep the slips and have them in the binder, so it's nice to have them all together, and never had the Kratos one, so there's one to add. I usually love the back of the packaging for the figure, as they'll have some info and description of the character. Gears of War was great for doing these, giving you an insight on the characters you bought. So it'll give you like an insight on their story, of the backstory of who they were, which Gears of War did really well. The God of War has some great shots of the figure itself, of Kratos in the God armor, but the description on it's very faint. There's not much to it. It doesn't really add much to knowing the character. I guess you've already played, if you're going to get a figure of Kratos, you've played the game, so you know it all. Like, you know who he is, what's the deal, but it's nice to get that little extra description of hearing what character's what and what brought them to where they are. So I really liked with the Gears. God of War's little not so great on that. The side panels, again, it's not much to the side panels. It's very tight, like a little photo on the side. Not what you usually get with most NECA figures. You'll get a nice portrait on the sides of the box. With these ones, it's very limited. The faceplate has more detail than the side plate, so that's just something to put on there too. But you're not buying it for the faceplate, side plate. For me, I like to keep them, so it's just something I notice. The backdrop you get with the packaging, it's very nice. It's a little piece of Olympus, I believe, or it's the gates to Olympus. I haven't played God of War 2 in a long time, so I don't know exactly where it is. I'm just going to say it's somewhere in Olympus. The back has a little description, not much to it though, just kind of getting you ready for God of War 2, and it just says, "You are Kratos, the new God of War. The epic odyssey continues as you set out to alter that which no mortal or god has ever changed. ... Your fate." That's about all you get in it. Some cool artwork though, I really do enjoy that, but as I was saying before, there's not much to it. Alright, so let's unpackage these, and I'll be back once they're unpackaged and let you know what's the accessories, the articulation and all. I'll be back with that. Alright, so I was just unpacking them, and I just realized this one, it's fine, his mobility's all there, whatnot. It's cool. Well, not all there, but this arm moves no problem. You can bend the elbow, swivel, ball joint moves. This ball joint is stuck, so maybe I gotta put it under some hot water. Elbow bends and all, swivel barely. So yeah, that one, he stayed intact. But I'm taking this one out of the packaging, and I'm just noticing it's like, oh yeah, he's got, I don't know if it's a different, like came from a different brand or something, or maker, oh it's manufacturer, but it has different twist ties, and even the blades of chaos are different colors. Like, this one's more gray, these ones are all black. That's what came with one opened. But unboxing this one, and the arm just pops off. I thought, oh, maybe I could just pop the joint in. But no. Where's the camera? Right there. The ball joint snapped inside. So, there's that. Yeah, go. Move. The ball joint snapped inside. So, that's a thing. Gotta fix that somehow. Still gotta take it out and see the damage, so I'll be back after that. So both figures pretty much come with the same accessories, just the blades of chaos are different colored. You got one that's more of a matte black look to them, and then the other has a bone gray type handle to them. They both come with the same Blade of Olympus, I believe it's called. They both come with that. Other than that, though, they're pretty much the exact same accessories. The Blade of Olympus is very detailed and looks great. Some of it has more of a bronze color to it than a gold, but it looks really nice still. The handle and faceplate are made of solid plastic, but the blade itself, it's like a rubber, which sucks as it's all bent up. You can't really hold form or shape to it, which really sucks because you want that straight edge for a blade like that, but you can't have it. The Blades of Chaos, it's pretty much the same as I was saying before. You got one that's a dark black, and then the other's a bone gray. They're both solid. They hold their forms. Nothing's made of that rubbery plastic crap. Like they're all solid, hard plastic. So that's nice. But yeah, that's pretty much it for accessories. You get a base of a base for them to stand, a foot plate. I don't know what you'd want to call it. They're all right, nothing special. Can be used for other figures too. So if you have other NECA figures that won't stand well, you can use them for that. Okay, it's time for articulation. The articulation is the same as the figures that these are originally cast from, but just cheaper plastic. Like just the head itself feels like a cheaper rubber, like a rubber plastic type deal. The shoulder joint, the actual shoulder, the ball of the shoulder, it feels like a hollow piece of plastic. And then the rest of it's just pretty much made out of that rubber type plastic. The pins to the joints are that really cheap, feels like hollow plastic as well. But other than that, it looks great. But other than that, it's very cheaply made. But that's what you expect ordering from China. You get what you pay for, and for these, like for them being $20 Canadian, I can accept that. The thing that kind of sucks though is I'll have to try and figure out a way how to fix some of these. Like as I showed you before, one has a broken arm. We'll get into that later on. But here, let's just get into the articulation over here. Okay, so the head is what I believe to be on a ball joint, slightly up, down, well, barely, like very slightly, left, right, full 360 really, and then the shoulders, which when I had the original version of NECA, these were really hard to move, but it seems like you get a little more like I swear this goes higher than the original did. I don't remember being able to have him like this. So there's that added to it, which is nice. But that's a ball joint, and then it goes up a little bit, down. Just very limited articulation because of that. Swivels at the bicep, 360. Bends at the elbow, and then I believe it's a ball joint at the hand, but it barely moves. It's a swivel pretty much. Same with the other arm, swivel at the waist, full 360 swivel. Well, it's going to full 360 anyways. There's no thigh swivel. Oh wait, yes there is. It's just hiding in there. So there is a thigh swivel in there. And then the crotch, it's like a V swivel again, I guess you want to say. Bends at the knees very barely. It's like it's very shallow, the cuts that they put for the knee, so you get no, really limited to no movement. The foot, I don't know what kind of joint it is. I just know it pivots up and down. And yeah, that's about it really for the articulation. Very limited. It's more set for a piece you just have sitting on your shelf. It's nothing to play with, nothing to really pose much because you're limited with the poses you'll get from it. But all in all, I'm happy with it. At least this one, because when I put this one back, we get here to this one, and yeah, this guy has a bunch of problems with him, which has me wondering. There's one of the problems. Which has me wondering if this is done by a different manufacturer from China or whatever bootleg did this, because This one has a lot of things that this one didn't have. Like, for starters, this guy's arm is stuck like this. He can only bend sideways. I can't straighten his arm out. It feels like I'm going to snap the other arm off. The swivel is not there. It's like fused together. So, this is how he's going to stay. And yeah, this is just really disappointed with this figure. But at least I got one that's together. I'll most likely try and fix the joint on this one. But until then, because this is really hollow, cheap plastic at the above the bicep where the actual shoulder is. It's very cheap. The rest of it's made of that hard plastic type rubber, which feels very durable. But just this piece here feels very cheap. Just that one piece, it feels like how all the pegs are made of that hollow plastic, which is crap. I'll just end up displaying them on my shelf like this. The one you see on the turntable actually came out very well. I'm really impressed with that one. So maybe if that body on the right is messed up and I can't fix it, I can maybe just do head swaps. But either way, I'll probably just glue it. If I can't fix it, I'll just glue it together so it's stuck in one pose. But all in all, for the price, I do like them. They have their pros, their cons. For the price, though, it's hard to complain, especially if you're buying in the U.S., where it'll just be $15 a piece for one of these. So can't complain for that, because I look on eBay for certain ones, and it's like if I want to get the NECA actual branded one, I'm paying around $100. For the price, I can't complain, because I got one of them for $8. These two were 20, and then the other two I got. So I got the whole set pretty much for like $70, around $60-$70 for the whole set. So I can't complain for the price, because I'd be paying more than that just for one of these figures. And like, if there's stuff to be fixed on them, or that I can upgrade on them, why not? Just future projects, stuff I can try and learn more on the custom end and whatnot. So yeah, I enjoy them. Would I recommend getting them? Uh if you can get the original, I'd say get the original. But if you're just looking for something quick, easy, and cheap, this is your best option. And really, you can't go wrong for that price. So hope you guys liked the video. Comment, like, subscribe. Hope to see you guys in the future. Peace.